This is the book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 3. On its verse 5, and it reads, "The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." Also, it's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. And the point is verse 7. "For the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice." I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakodos Brakatham. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwab, the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, which appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So basically, I came across this article. I recently subscribed to the Sun, and they've been giving me all these notifications and sending me all these articles. So I saw a story that caught my attention because the Lord used an animal to judge an individual. That's why I started with that Zephaniah. You know, the Lord is actually like we in a time of judgment. And how ridiculous this may seem, is not. You know what I mean? Because like I said, when I read that Wisdom of Solomon, the Lord's spirit filleth the whole world. The Lord's spirit is on these animals, his creations as well. I was watching a little snippet that the elder Yashawama for Dallas, he got that 2 through page, and it was I believe that was it. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was a video the elder Yashawamba had, and basically it was a horse. Watching all these different videos, he can mix some stuff up. But I saw a video where basically it was a horse, and it was an Edomite trying to play with the horse, and the horse kept on trying to, it's nipping at him, but it ain't biting, and he keep fucking with the horse, to the point where the horse basically bite his ass and tear off his shirt. And the Lord, I believe it was the elder, because he was talking about how even the creation is tied to Esau Edom. The earth is being ran horribly to the point where the earth is dying. So everybody's sick of this Edomite shit. And the thing is, he don't want to give up his power. You know what I mean? He literally like has this insane plan of he's gonna terrorize the planet, then go hide, and then come back and and be in control. So. What was I trying to get? I was getting Leviticus though. Leviticus chapter 20, I think 6, and the point was 22. But I'm gonna bring out a little bit of the article. Yeah, that's it. Bear with me for a second. So it reads, "ROO Horror Man." Man 77 savaged to death by a kangaroo he was keeping as a pet, which then became violent with paramedics. So it reads, "An elderly man who kept a wild kangaroo as a pet has died after the beast savaged him at his Western Australian home. The 77-year-old man was discovered by a family member after being attacked by the murderous marsupial. The 77-year-old man was savaged to death by a pet kangaroo. The pensioner was discovered in his Western Australian home following the marsupial attack. Emergency services rushed to the pensioner's home in Albany, Australia, but the furious kangaroo prevented paramedics from entering the property. Unable to make it into the home, the paramedics were forced to call police to the residence. The kangaroo was shot dead at the scene by police as authorities believed the angry marsupial was posing a threat to the emergency responders. Police believe the man was keeping the wild kangaroo as a pet before the beast killed him in the grisly attack. A W WA police spokesperson said on Monday the kangaroo was posing an ongoing threat to emergency responders, and the attending officers were required to euthanize the kangaroo by firearm. It is believed the man had been attacked by the kangaroo earlier in the day. Although the kangaroo attacks are not uncommon in Australia, the 77-year-old death was the nation's first reported fatal kangaroo killing in nearly 100 years. The last person to lose their life in a kangaroo attack was 38-year-old William Cruikshank, who suffered a broken jaw and extensive head injuries after a run-in with one of the animals back in 1936. Numerous clashes with the marsupials have been documented over the years, with the beast posing frightening fighting abilities. Salakia. With the beast possessing frightening fighting abilities, kangaroos can spring over 6 feet in the air, travel at 35 miles per hour, and have a one-punch knockout that has been captured on camera in incredible footage. Mitchell Robinson was decked by a feisty kangaroo in his own front yard in New South Wales, Australia, back in 2020, with extras believing he got off lucky. Featherdale Wildlife Park zookeeper Chad Staples said they have huge claws on their front hands that they will use to hold on with, and when they with their black legs are all powerful kicking, so they are covered with weapons. And that's the point, scriptures talk about how put one over me that is younger than me, roughly paraphrase. Esau Edom, it talks about, scriptures talk about not to tempt the Lord. Esau Edom is the individual. He's a child to a degree because look at what he gets off on. This man likes to go bungee jumping and playing in mud and all this reckless, dangerous shit. Why would you want to keep a wild animal? You know what I mean? And that's the Esau spirit. If you have a spiritual eye, you can tell who these people are. Just like you should be able to tell who Jake is. Jake fit the curses. Esau Edom fit the the signs of the wicked. But what I mean, like I said, like Esau literally, like I said, will keep something that's basically considered dangerous. So, but the thing is, the Lord, and again, it's literally the Lord is putting his spirit on these animals to actually, rouse up. You ever see that movie Avatar? It shows you that, how basically the animals was helping the I forgot what their name was, but the tribe. That's the spirit too, because they're supposed to be dropping that new Avatar this year. But long story short, I forgot the name of their tribe, but basically, remember when all the animals was helping to fight against Esau Edom. You know what I mean, in the movie. So the Lord putting the spirit on these animals to rouse up, because the Lord is frustrated, and it's not frustrated but sick with this place. You know what I mean? And we coming into the time of judgment. So I just thought of a few different scriptures that went into the judgment. The Lord gonna use even a beast, because Yahweh Shem Yahshua is the Father of spirits. He could use whatever he wants to actually judge or make an example. He used the donkey in the account of Balaam and the donkey to speak. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 9. All ye beasts of the field come to devour, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. So the Lord is going to use different animals to enact judgment. Scriptures talk about how animals going to change their places. And I remember, I forgot what brother did it, but a brother did a video about how, like in California, how because there's mountains in that region, they had mountain lions usually are solitary animals and yada yada yada. But now a new thing was happening in the earth, because these mountain lions were basically changing their habitat. They weren't in the mountains; they were basically being found roving in packs in neighborhoods. And again, mountain lion is considered a solitary animal, but they were rolling in packs like wolves. So the scriptures talk about these beasts changing their places. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. So that's the point I wanted as far as basically these animals, because the Lord is going to be using and utilizing them to actually cause judgment. This is the book of Second Ezra's. No, I mean, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39. And it goes into the teeth of wild beasts. This is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39, point is verse 30. It says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Because the Lord is going to use, this is a brother in the camp that always brings up the secret, top secret, basically facility that they deem Nightmare Hall, where Esau has spliced all these different animals together. And when you take the time to think about and look at Esau's mind, Esau's mind is sick. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised of them having something like that. One brother just brought out some information about this particular slave owner, and going into how basically he got off on raping the slaves, but he also got off on the derby dose. Brothers into the truth, or maybe not. I mean, sometimes we don't. It's always something to learn, or it's so much information. But the derby dose is something that Jake needs to go check out. And then you tell me, understanding that these people did these type of acts to us, how could you sit up there? I was listening to Lil Wayne, punk ass, sit up there and say he don't see racism because an incident happened when he was younger, and it was an Edomite that basically was there for him. But at the end of the day, what's that guy named Irv Gotti made a statement. He was talking about 50 Cent. He's like, you thinking that Satan, the Most High, or God saved you, but what if Satan saved you? Now we ultimately know that everything's of the Most High. But you know what I mean? Like Irv Gotti was basically saying, Satan blesses as well. You got a lot of our people that basically sold out to Satan. It's the spirit, because I was listening to Elder Apostle Tahar basically make mention of this, because he was like, a lot of people not speaking on this prophecy, and it makes you wonder, why aren't you? You know what I mean? You focused on all this other stuff, but if you a prophet, why aren't you prophesying about something that is a major thing? And then I heard the elder Apostle Gabar basically do a response to it, and it's the truth. Man, while it will make you question, and what he basically boiled down to, that he believed that some of those men sold out, which makes sense. You got to remember, all these men have basically was affiliated in one school. Now you got particular men that own schools and homes, and he got all this money. Like, how did you think you got that? And the thing is, making that deal with Esau is gonna come back to bite you. Because at the end of the day, the scriptures say, how can he do good to one that won't even do good to himself? Roughly paraphrase, like Esau, Edom don't even give a fuck about his own people. That's why they about to leave a lot of Edomites fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? So if he don't even give a fuck about his own, well, he damn sure ain't caring about Jake. You got to understand, Jacob's trouble is going to affect Jake. In the midst of all that, you're going to have these animals with the spirit of the Lord on them attacking. So back in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, it reads, teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to death. Or Salaki, the wicked to destruction. Because that's going to be a judgment. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 15. Starting at verse 1, because at the end of the day, this day of Jacob's trouble and this judgment, the Lord is going to use Esau, Edom, to basically punish the 2/3 of our nation that refuse to get right and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. This reads, Jeremiah 15:1, then said the Lord Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. Because at the end of the day, the Lord already put, if the Lord or Father spirits, he know that it's going to be particular people of our nation that just cannot get right. You know what I mean? Rebellious, stubborn ass nation, And it's amazing because like the Lord probably he loves certain spirits because some spirits are just so loyal, you know. But then there's certain spirits that he can't, he can't stand. Yeah. I was listening to the brother Bakar Moff. He was going to that talking about where do you see that love? The Lord just loves everybody in the Bible. That's how you know people don't read. And it shall come to pass if they, the Lord didn't even love, all, like, it showed you who he had a lot of love for. You showed you who he was really like, offended at, you know, and that's why certain things were judged the way they were. It says, and it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to the captivity. Verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. And that's the spirit, because I sent my sister the video that's circulating with the I guess the officials or the I don't know what his position was, but obviously he was a law enforcement official, and he was going into what's going to be taking place beginning January of 2023, and he was saying how basically they going to be basically straight releasing on crimes that they normally would have released you. So basically it's gonna be a purge. And she asked, is that real? And I said, yeah. You know what I mean? And I've had the opportunity to be in Chicago, visit Chicago. And Chicago, you could just feel the nigga spirit. I remember we went to a Walmart there, I think like on one of my first or second trips, and just it was so deep because you could just feel this. These guys working there, but you could just tell these wasn't no regular guys. Like I'm like, these is niggas. You know what I mean? Like you go to ask them something, they just rude as fuck. I'm like, yeah, these some niggas. So Chicago funny like that, where they put chairs and furniture and certain shit in parking spots. Do you know what Jake or Northern Kingdom Israelite that's not in their right mind? Do you know they probably damn near kill somebody over one of them parking spots? I mean, when you see it, you can't do it, but this is their way of like planning, securing, like marking their territory for their spot. It was kind of funny, but then I'm like, I thought about it like, damn, a nigga probably like try to kill you over, what if you ain't from the city and didn't understand you parked in this man's spot? You fuck around, be the, I remember a story in the world, before I came into years and years before I came into truth. I remember some guys that I grew up around. They went to Chicago and they out there dancing. And, everybody try to rep where they come from or whatever. So they repping that out there, but not realizing what they doing. Like this ain't no, you know what I mean? Like this ain't off of what's that? Janky Promoters. What's the name of that? What was the name of that city that they came to? Mike Epps said that's the city. Motherfuckers come to this city when you running away from the police and stuff like that. Like, but anyway, yeah, they was throwing some little street shit up, and they like, dude, you know where you at? You know what I mean? And the Lord allowed them to actually get up out of there. But I'm talking about it could have been all bad for them. Especially if somebody got into their pride or ego or thought they was tough, because you know how Jake is. I done seen Jake want to kill you over some shoes and step on the shoes. Like you can't get another pair of shoes. So yeah, Jake actually. Yeah. So I got one last scripture though. That's pretty much the point though. I'm proving the point. The Lord gonna use these animals to judge the world, and especially Israel. Matter of fact, it's in Leviticus. This is Leviticus chapter 26, and I'm gonna read. It says, and if ye walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. So, again, the Lord going to use these particular beasts to enact judgment. And like I said, this is about like the third article I done seen where animal, and although this is helping us in Australia, it's spiritual, because when I was homeless, I used to see coyotes, and people are like, oh, ain't no coyotes in. But you know, you got to understand, Ohio is a very like it's a little bit of everything here. Like Ohio has wolves, bears, all that. You know, so you know, I remember telling them, you know, I used to see coyotes. They didn't believe me. Then one of the brothers that's in the group chat, he like, yeah, I saw a coyote. He was like, I ain't believe it was coyote. But I'm like, I told you, I said what? Because a coyote looked like a wolf. It's just a lot. I think the wolf is a lot leaner and longer, but a coyote and the wolf favor a lot. You know. So just imagine having a coyote in the hood, you know, walking around, because you got to understand everything going when the food get more scarce. You know what I mean? These animals gonna be looking for food. You know what I mean? They gonna be doing what they got to do. Just like when Jake is hungry, he goes and search. These animals gonna do the same thing. Yeah. So you know the Lord is actually, what's that scripture? Psalms 119 to 126. Time for the Lord to work. Is that made for thy law? God. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem. More honors to my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aquatim Yakim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, I say shalom, shalom, and walk like a ball, shalom.